All right, Jim Haff, Selectman in Killington, sitting down with us today to talk a little bit about one of the programs that has kind of emerged in the midst of the Corona crisis and the Corona pandemic. And Jim, you are the owner of a property, the former Butternut up in Killington, and it has been transformed and is now being utilized by Castleton University for a satellite campus for their resort program, and a real grassroots effort to really come up with a food cupboard. And I think it's a great story, one of many I think that's going to come out of this whole experience, that people just wanting to do something for their community. So I thought I'd give you a moment to talk a little bit about how this effort came about, and like-minded people finding each other and coming up with a great idea.
Yeah, first off, hi, how you doing there, Mike? I'm sitting in the lodge right now. I think I might have the background of the resort in the background here of Superstar and everything. I hope so.
And we just got snow. We just got snow the other day, so it just adds insult to injury,
Yeah, it does. But to start off, I received a phone call about 15 to 20 days ago from a Pamela Martin who started a GoFundMe page. I believe it's called Killington One or One Killington. And her goal was to raise some money to get some funds out to some of the restaurants that were feeding local people. I mean, that's where it really started out. There's Chris over at the Foundry was feeding some families from the school at night. Sushioshi was doing the same thing.
I think Brian at the Garlic, I think, as well.
Yeah, Phil Black has been feeding the senior citizens on Tuesdays, and Brian at the Garlic has, Phil and Brian have been two of them that have not opened to the public, but they've been out there still feeding people in town. So Pamela's goal was to try to get some money out to these folks, and I believe right now she's up to close to $25,000 being raised on the GoFundMe page. The town has a few $1,000s coming into it also. So anyway, Pamela contacted me and wanted to find an avenue of how to disperse the funds. And I approached the town of Killington first, spoke with Chet Hagenberth, the town manager, and we decided that we can use Sarah Newell over at the rec department and make her the point person for this. So she's been working with Pamela Martin and some other organizations. I reached out then to Mike Salamano with an email to ask him to give me a phone call. Mike gave me a call back like within a few hours. I know he's busy, but we started talking about this food drive, and he said it was kind of funny because his team was already talking about doing another big drive up at the resort, and this time including the Killington community and outside of the community. I believe they had it on a Tuesday 2 weeks ago, or just a week ago maybe, on a Tuesday, and they gave out over 500 bags of food. So we started talking and made up, Mike had a great suggestion that we leave the buying to them. We just do the fundraising over here between Pamela and the town and let his guys, Scott Harrison and everyone, go to work to try to procure some food at some really good prices, but still giving money to like Thomas Dairy. There was rumors that they were throwing their milk out.
What the resort, and just to interject, I think what the resort did by putting that money to work with local farmers and locally sourced food is great and keeps those dollars really super local.
Correct. And, like Scott Harrison's comment is that, they want to donate, but, the figure here is that we're raising some money and we want these people to, they're doing a great thing. They're giving great prices and, they need some money to survive this when everyone comes out of it.
So, all this kind of came together at the same time, and you have a facility that right now is not being utilized.
Well, I own a building, but Castleton University owns the building, so that's the next step. Then it was like, where will we be putting the food? The resort was going to do that one run up there. Then where were we going to go next? So I reached out to Castleton University, and I spoke with Dennis over there, who's the dean of students, and I reached out and said, the last time we had something big in town called Irene, the Butternut at that time became a food pantry because we went to open up the elementary school. So all the food supplies came over here. Technically I own the building, but I need permission. And Castleton stepped in huge and said, whatever it takes for the town of Killington, let's move forward.
Nice. So I guess, the next question would be is if people need resources, if people, need some food just to help them out this week or a future week, what's the process in order to help get some food insecurity?
Well, what we had done was when Killington did that one run on that Tuesday, there was around 150, 200 bags left over. We actually had like a little trial run here at the lodge, Castleton Lodge. And on that Thursday, we did get rid of all 200 bags of food. We put the word out there through the school, elementary school, senior citizens. I reached out to Kim Jackson over in Bridgewater, who actually works for Vermont Adaptive. And she reached out to their neighbors of neighbors over there. And we got like 40 bags out to them. Sal from Moguls came by. Jason from the Mountain Times came by. They delivered food out there to Bridgewater for folks that couldn't get here. Sal and then Paul Stiles from Pittsfield stopped by, and they started taking some food out to residents in Pittsfield that didn't have a way of getting here. So that was our trial run. Right now, what we're currently doing is that we've raised, like I said, we've raised over $28,000 so far. And
I think the original goal was like 4,000. I think.
It was like remarkable. 4 or 5 grand. If you look at the GoFundMe page, I think it says 5,000, but it's up to 25,000. And then there's money at there's money at the town and everything else. I believe also Alex Crompton did a silent GoFundMe for a marathon run from the Killington gondola on Route 4 to Queechee. And a bunch of people donated to him, and I think he raised over $3,000, and he's putting $1,500 to the pantry at the White Church and another $1,500 over to the town of Killington. So big shout out for Alex Compton for doing that. But we've got $12,000 that we've told the ski resort, Scott Harrison, to put 200 packages together for next Tuesday at the Butternut or Castleton Lodge between 3 and 7. And it's going to be, we've gone ahead and said, buy up to $60 their cost per package, which we're getting somewhere around $3 to $4 per dollar of purchasing power by using the resort.
That's great.
It's really working out great.
Nice.
So the answer is just, next Tuesday, May 5th, between the hours of 3 and 7, we have 200 bags to give out. Just drive on up to the lodge, Castleton Lodge, 63 Weather Vane. Follow the directions of how to get into the parking area. There are some few rules because of COVID-19 right now. No one's to get out of their car while they approach. They should, when they're just about ready to enter the driveway, either open up their rear window on the passenger side or pop their trunk open, and the food will be given through that way there. It's one of the big rules right now. It's sort of like the same way the resort was running it up at the hill. Yeah,
no, it works really well. It's almost like an assembly line, and you get your stuff, and then you keep pulling on through and exit. So that's great. We'll have stuff on our social media pages as well as our newsletter on that as well. So folks will hopefully be aware of it, and if they are in need, or if they have friends or family that are in need of food insecurity, they can make a stop up to the Castleton Lodge. So
that would be great.
Yeah, and I think, not to sound melodramatic, but I think this is a great example of that one Killington that we've talked about for many, many years, when you have the resort working along with the business community and town officials like yourself and Sarah Newell at the Recreation Department, and now Castleton University as well, and just everybody pulling together and making the best they can out of a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget about yourself over there at the KPAA. You know, I mean, you guys are out there reaching out to different people, and you know, we reached out to you for a couple of things as a town also. So, you know, I'd like to say thank you to you guys.
Appreciate it, and thank you for what you're doing, Jim. And like I said, I'll put that information up, and it sounds like it's going to be the first of many that you're going to do throughout the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add it. So that's the $12,000 going to that, and obviously, I said there's over 28,000. Pamela also wanted to do a 36 families for $350 per, and I believe she's starting up some kind of committee that they will be reaching out to. So it'll be like some of the local ministers in town and the elementary school. And she'd like to get to 36 families that are in need, like $350. The town really can't get involved in that. We're not going to be the ones that's saying who gets money and who doesn't get money. We're staying in the food side. So there'll be more things to come.
Great. Jim Haff, Select Board member in Killington, thanks so much for sitting down with me this morning.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Have a good one.